Getting ready to welcome my YouTube audience. This is the very first YouTube live stream that I have done so far. All of the videos that you see here on YouTube are cross-published from the beautiful community that we have created on Facebook known as the Akashic Academy. If this is the first time you are joining me, again, I'm Emily Harrison, founder and director of the Akashic Academy and a mentor to other lightworkers in the realm of the Akashic Records. I have expertise in this realm that has absolutely changed my life, changed the life of my community. And I'm so happy to be going global to share this message of the Akashic Records. If you are not familiar with the Akashic Records, they are the realm of consciousness where all information exists. Every detail of our past, our present, all possible futures exist within this space of the Akashic Records. And it is my pleasure to share with you some information that I have channeled through the records specifically about coronavirus and how it might be affecting you. Even if you do not feel like you are afraid of the germs, we are all still susceptible. So for those of you who have heard of this thing called coronavirus, I am excited to tell you that this is AI. That stands for artificial intelligence. So whether you understand that to be a man-made virus or you understand that to be a complex system that has been injected into our collective consciousness, into our matrix, where we are all connected through the grid. It doesn't really matter what specific terms you use. I just invite you to begin to open your mind and to see this in a different way than you've seen it before. I actually have a tool here that I would like to help to create that space for everybody. So consciousness rides most dynamically on sound, on color, on one word. When we string together a bunch of words to try to teach each other things here on this planet, what happens is your monkey mind jumps in and begins to interpret these words. So in order to create a clearing, first of all, I'm going to invite you all to take a listen to this bowl, setting an intention that the ringing that comes from this sacred Tibetan bowl here will not only clear the field so that you can understand, you can interpret with an open mind more dynamically, but it's also going to open up access for you to receive consciousness, to receive insight from your Akashic records, from the Akashic field. So let's begin just by opening the sacred container here together. I'm going to invite you to listen to this sound with your ears, with your human ears, okay? Listen for as long as you can, follow the sound, and then once you don't hear the sound anymore, I'm going to invite you to recreate that sound within your memory, within your internal ears. And this will really begin to open up your ability to hear source, to hear the records, the masters, teachers, loved ones, and guides coming in and talking specifically to you. So listening, following that sound. And when the sound fades away to a point you can no longer hear it, I'm going to invite you to recreate that within your memory. Opening up your clairaudience, your clear inner hearing, so that you can have access to the genius that awaits you within your Akashic records. I work with high-level visionaries, world leaders, change makers, to unleash their creative genius through accessing universal intelligence, which is the Akashic Records. This is the most powerful technology on the planet, and it exists within your DNA. You naturally have the ability to tap into the Akashic field at any time. And when you do, when you unleash your creative genius, you become a master in your field. That is what I am here to do on the planet, is to support the light workers, the healers, the visionaries, the thought leaders, to tap their creative genius and be able to show up and make a huge impact much faster here on the planet. So thank you all for joining me in this sacred space. When I went into my Akashic Records last week to ask what the heck is going on here with coronavirus, the information that I got was that this is AI. This is fear programming that is purposefully being injected into our collective consciousness. Okay. You do not have to allow it to permeate into your consciousness, but we need ways out. We need other forms of intelligence, other parts of the story, the rest of the story, so that we can give ourselves permission to work with this understanding in a different way. So for those of you who have gone out there and said, I am not afraid of coronavirus, I am going to go out into the world anyway. I'm going to go do my grocery shopping. I'm going to walk my dog. I am going to continue to go to the community events that are on my social schedule, my social calendar at this time. Good for you. Because one of the main things that I'm finding is happening with coronavirus is that it's preventing human connection. There are frequencies coming into our planet right now through Schumann. Schumann is it's like the heartbeat of Mother Earth. It's the magnetic field of Mother Earth. And through the Schumann resonance, we actually have the ability to up-level our consciousness. Just like I dung the bowl, dong the bowl, ding dang dong, whichever one that I actually did. Just like the sound, the vibrational frequency of the bowl clears out our field and creates a space for open and expanded consciousness, the Schumann resonance of Mother Earth is doing that as well. Okay, we are in a position in the galaxy right now. By we, I mean our entire solar system. You've heard of the precession of equinox, yes? As our solar system is moving through the galaxy, what's happening now as we're moving into the age of Aquarius is we are aligning to galactic center. Everything in this universe is energy. Sound is a particular energy that stores and transfers knowledge. So do light particles. So as we are positioning ourselves in the realm of the galaxy where we currently are, our universe, our solar system, specifically our planet Earth, we are being bombarded by these photons of light, which are causing an awakening of our consciousness. They are returning the mystical, magical skills of self-healing, which aren't so mystical and magical once you figure it out. But this consciousness, this understanding has been buried, it's been suppressed in our world for quite some time. And when we don't have access to all the information, information can be used against us. Okay, so I'm here to invite you to wake up to your ancient memory and also remind you the human body is designed to heal itself. So you don't have to be as worried about getting this coronavirus as many of us are. Okay, so let's go back and talk about Schumann as well as this photonic light that is bombarding our universe. Okay, it is actually waking up the DNA within you. Your skills to be very intuitive, to be psychic, your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, your clairsentience, your claircognizance. There are a couple of others. There's also clairsmelly. I call it clairolfactory. When your sense of smell comes on, a lot of times maybe you'll smell the perfume of your grandmother permeating. This is an example of your clairsmelly coming on. There's also clairgustance, which is a taste, when you can begin to detect taste within your mouth. All of these senses are coming back online for humanity. Now, the key to really being able to harness this energy, to allow it to unfold to its highest in your personal microcosm, in your personal world, requires you to be in human connection, in the resonance of other human beings. We've got to be in the heart space with each other. That's what really allows all of the upgrades that are possible here on our planet to integrate, and for us as human beings to stabilize and learn how to work with these new senses, these new skills. Okay, this is very dangerous if you look at it from a government perspective, where the government is suppressing, or the powers that be, or the powers that shouldn't be, however you want to categorize the polarity, the good versus evil, the light, the dark that exists here on this planet. The idea of so many humans coming into their ancient understanding, their ancient awareness, is very, very scary for the way that modern society is set up. Okay? Because right now, when we're staying in a suppressed state, when you are afraid, you can be controlled. You can be controlled to buy things that you don't need, to live lifestyle in a way that is not necessarily what you need or in your highest and best good. And there are very subtle ways that we begin to convince our body that that story is true, convince our mind that that story is true. So a mass waking up here on the planet is very, very scary for the powers that be that have been running the matrix for quite some time. So if there can be fear suppression that is injected into our society that keeps us from being in that heart resonance, that keeps us from being in community, present, not just here online. It's beautiful to connect with each other online. But when you are in the physical presence of another being with activated consciousness, your consciousness begins to activate as well. And we're seeing so many events across the globe being canceled right now. And I want to invite you to see that this is part of the programming. This is part of the suppression, the attempt to suppress this beautiful ancient knowledge that is waking up and coming back online for so many people here on the planet. So I want to invite you to continue to go out, not telling you don't have to wash your hands, everybody. You got to keep washing your hands. You want to make sure that your immune system is strong. You want to do the things that are supporting your most dynamic health. And I'm going to give you a couple tips that I got specifically from the Akashic Records that can help you as we're going through this time. But do not deny yourself the opportunity to be present with other human beings and being in that heart field. It is of incredible importance right now that we continue to have that level of transmission, that level of exchange with each other. Okay. For those of you who are like, I am not afraid of the virus. I am still going out. I am doing my thing. Like I said before, you are walking your dog. You are going to the grocery store. You are still showing up to life as you've been living it for quite some time. I'm going to invite you to see the other ways that you might be susceptible to this fear construct that's being injected into our society. Okay. I don't vibe on the same frequency as the germs. I just don't do it. So that doesn't scare me. Anytime that there is an epidemic, a pandemic that comes into my awareness, which it takes a lot to come into my awareness, because to be honest with you, I don't watch the news. I don't subject myself or my subconscious mind to that information. Okay. But I have noticed other ways that my psyche has been attacked. Because there is the fear circulating through the grid. What is the grid? The grid are the invisible lines of consciousness that connect all of us. Grid is relationship and connection to each other. Because there is so much fear moving through the collective at this time, I have found my psyche attacked. Many of my students and my clients have also found life to be, I'm going to use a metaphysical speak here, it's dense. Oh, the energy is dense. Oh, how many of you guys can relate to the density that is being, that is manifesting in your life? And how does density look for those of us who aren't afraid of the germs? It looks like limitation. It looks like lack. It looks like fear of how I'm going to pay this bill. It looks like not being sure or clear about how you are going to handle a relationship problem or an issue coming up in your life. It looks like all of a sudden you've lost clarity and inspiration on the next steps of your mission. I work with so many people who are here to affect a huge change on the planet. I call them planetary logoses, planetary logi. If you resonate to being someone who is here to shift the consciousness of the entire planet, you are planetary logos. And those of us who are here in these roles of returning this ancient wisdom, this ancient power to society so that we are no longer suppressed, are still being affected by the fear that is pumping through the collective fields right now. So I just want to invite you to begin to see where this might be playing out in your world. Okay, let's get down to talking about what you can do about it. All right. The first and the most important thing is to take care of your immune system. There is a particular doctor, I believe his name is Stephen Agnes. You know, I'm wishing I would have checked that before I came on here live, right? Who talks about the immune system as a forest. Okay, so imagine that the forest is freshly precipitated, meaning it just rained or maybe it snowed. I live up in the high Sierras. We're still getting a little bit of snow, even though It felt like spring was right around the corner. Tricky, tricky. But when you are dealing with a damp forest, a freshly precipitated forest, what happens when you strike a match? I'm going to act it out for you. Strike a match, throw that match into the forest. Not shit. Nothing happens. The match goes out. Now, if you have a forest that is dry, overly dry, you have a lot of brush lying around, you strike that match, you throw that match in the forest, look out. You could ignite a forest fire real damn fast, okay? This is the difference in our immune system when a virus comes into contact with it. If your immune system is like that freshly precipitated forest, you can come into contact with virus and psh, it fizzles out. Nothing tremendous or out of the ordinary happens, okay? If you throw that match into the forest and there's a lot of dry brush around, there's a lot of kindling around, you could ignite something pretty disastrous within your body. So I'm going to invite you to do things that boost your immune system. Okay, my favorite way to boost my immune system is very simply vitamin C. I personally like to take high doses of vitamin C. I am not a doctor, so I'm going to advise you to consult with your physical care team, whoever that is, whether it's holistic or whether it's traditional medicine, or do some research. You can also do muscle testing to find out if that's the right thing for you. Kinesiology tells us that our subconscious energy field knows exactly what's good for our body. So you can simply hold vitamin C in your hand, put your arm out, and have somebody else try to push your arm down. And you'll notice if your arm flops down right away, that might not be the best thing for you. If your arm stays nice and strong and steady, that is your body's indication that this is something that is powerful for your field. Okay? You want to make sure that you're getting enough rest. How easy is it to catch a cold if you are exhausted? If you have no energy, no life force energy left in your body, and if you are not sleeping at night, there is no way that you can replenish as powerfully as you need to your chi, your life force. Okay? There are other things that we can do to replenish our chi and our life force. Get out in the sun. Sun gazing is an incredible practice. Again, you want to make sure that you're doing this responsibly. That means you do not go out at noon and start staring at the sun. It means that 1 hour after the sun has risen or 1 hour before the sun sets, you do very small amounts of gazing into the sun. And when you do that, you are allowing all of the electromagnetic spectrum of energy to move in through your eyes, into your cellular structure, into your field. This has an incredibly uplifting effect on your immune system. What do I mean by small amounts of time? I mean, you start with 10 seconds. You can gradually build up 1 second every day, but you want to start with really small amounts of time. Earthing is another incredible practice that you can do. Get yourself barefoot like a little kid. Strip off those shoes and socks. Go stand on the grass or on dirt if you can. Okay? We are electromagnetic beings, and Mother Earth is a gigantic battery being struck by lightning thousands of times per second, which is regenerating the electrical energy here in Mother Earth. You have more receptors on the bottom of your feet per square inch than any other place on your body. So just simply by going and standing barefoot on Mother Earth for 5 minutes a day will just severely recharge your system. It will help you eliminate stress. Once you eliminate stress from your body, your health goes way up. 99% of disease is caused by stress or an inflammatory state within the body. How easy if you can just go outside, take your shoes and socks off, and have one of the most powerful charging experiences that's available here on the planet. And that's free, people. All you need is the knowledge, the understanding that this is available to you. Okay? Specifically through the records, I also received the invitation to begin eating more root vegetables. Mother Earth is a dynamic being, so self-realized in her consciousness that she's incarnated as a physical planet here. Okay, this is our soul lineage. We are in soul lineage, in soul contract with the mother to be on her surface at this time, playing, experiencing joy, creating. If you are here on the planet right now, you are a manifester, you are a creator. You have something to create and bring into this world. Okay? If you increase the amount of root vegetables, organic root vegetables, these are vegetables that are grown in Mother Earth, you are naturally bringing that intelligence, that high vibe energy, that chi energy into your body. Okay? Sadhguru, it's like that little, I rolled my guru there a little bit. He says, when you eat this piece of bread, within 20 minutes, this piece of bread becomes a part of you. How's my accent? Is it reasonable? I mean that in all love, in no kind of jest, because I am a big fan. Definitely love watching Sadhguru. Okay. The food that we eat actually metabolizes and becomes a part of our cellular structure. So by eating organic root vegetables right now, you can take that healing, that power, that knowledge, that wisdom from Mother Earth and allow it to become a part of you. It has intelligence. Food has intelligence, and when it's eaten purposefully and brought into your body to support your awareness, to support your growth, it will have a magnificently powerful effect on not only your immune system, your overall health, but it's also going to give you a boost of inspiration coming back in. Okay, today is the full moon. There's energy that is lifting and clearing all over our planet. The full moon is definitely a time of illumination, a time where obviously the moon comes out at night, right? So when we think of polarity, light and dark, day and night, nighttime represents the quiet, the darker parts of our psyche, the corners of our mind. You can experience this illumination even more dynamically right now. Today, you can experience this release in your field, this release of fear. And I'm going to invite every single one of you to comment how this has resonated with you. Please share with me how you're seeing the coronavirus show up in your field, even if you are not afraid of the disease in and of itself. And let's open the conversation so that we're not only getting parts, little pieces of this story. Let's open the conversation so that we can begin to return this ancient intelligence to the planet. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. Again, if this is the first time you're joining, I'm Emily Harrison, founder and director of the Akashic Academy, and I work with visionaries and thought leaders, world change makers, to learn to access the field of infinite intelligence so that they can release their creative genius. There is no bit of information that is off limits to you when you learn how to access this field. And this is technology, the most powerful technology on the planet that exists within your cellular structure. For those of you who are ready to dive in and learn more, I invite you to reach out to me. Visit theakashicacademy.com on Facebook and begin to return this ancient intelligence to you, to your family, to your community, because we are all here to make a difference on the planet. Let's finish out with one more ringing of the bowl. Again, just because consciousness rides more dynamically on sound. So all of just like sound like this, not the sound of my voice babbling. I know some of you like to tune in and you like to hear the information that I speak, but truly all of the consciousness that has been brought to the surface and shared with you today in this broadcast will be more dynamically received by your body if you just listen to the sound and let it settle into your being. So thank you all for being here.